Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama. This is going to be Winning with Ease, episode 30, I do believe we are up to that, and so we are going to have the 14-14 all in this game. And something that I just kind of want to talk about is it's a very easy hold. However, if you are on a 4-player map without a ramp, it can be a lot harder. So such as Tal'Darim Altar, that can be an extremely difficult place to hold the 14-14 simply because you cannot move the queen. You cannot block with the queens or anything like that. So really quickly, new subscriber shout out to Hig95 George and the Rifa and a new user, and I believe Fish Sigma. Maybe I already shouted you out. You may have just got a double shout out. I'm not quite sure. So anyways, thank you for subscribing. Hopefully you guys did find my videos useful. And here I am just going to be defending this 14-14 with a hatch first. So I'm just going to go blind hatch first. I know a lot of times I will advocate scouting with that 9 drone, but for the purposes of these videos, I do like to do it blind simply so that it's a little bit more difficult for me to react. So I simply will be going and dropping my 15 hatch at 200 minerals. I send this drone out right here, so there we go, 195 I sent him out. So he'll get down there right when I have just about 300 minerals and be ready to drop that hatch. Right, so he'll go ahead and drop that hatch. Now I want to note my overlord spread right here. This first overlord is going to be moving over here. I like to get this vision so I can see when he's going to be taking his third base. And this overlord, of course, and also with this overlord, you can have it here so then you can run it into his base later on if you feel the need. And this overlord I do like to send over to the natural to see, hey, does he have a natural? When is he planning on taking a natural, etc. So I go for a 15 hatch, 15 gas, 15 pool, just kind of a build that I do, or my style I suppose, and then I'm going to drone up, and then at 16 I'll be taking an overlord. Simply so I do not get supply blocked, of course. So we are going to see my overlord moving into the vision. I see he has not gone for a 15 hatch, so this means maybe he's going for a pool first hatch, pool gas into hatch, or just nothing whatsoever. So now I'm going to be a little bit more curious. I'm going to continue moving this overlord forward, try and get some vision of its ramp, and just kind of really see what's going to be coming out. So in the meantime, back home, I am still just droning up at this point. I will be saving a couple of larvae at this point, I believe, because I see he's not gotten this hatch right here. So I know I'm going to be a little bit ahead, so I'm going to get a queen out instead, and then I'll have larvae to make 4 lings right here, simply because, hey, he doesn't have a hatch, so I can go ahead and sacrifice a couple of drones at this point to get some lings out, kind of prepare for anything that's coming. So a lot of times you'll see players just constantly drone here, and that's where they may get in trouble. You can drone, you'd have to get your 2 queens out a little bit faster, and I'm also going to throw down a spine collar because I see these lings popping out and I see that he still has not taken a hatch. We're past 21 supply now, for me at least, so if he hasn't taken a hatch by 21 supply, then this is definitely going to be some sort of a 1-base thing. So in the meantime, I have also gone to a baneling nest, and I will actually back it up a tiny bit to hit that, to look at that timing here at the end, but I'm just going to continue making lings at this point, as well as pausing for a second to get the second queen out, because right now the second queen's important. Something to do though is get these lings and charge out whenever you see those lings starting to get across the map, because it's a good chance he's going to be morphing banelings outside of your base, so you can at least delay that for a second, force a cancel, or just pick off all of those ling bane combination that's being made. In the meantime, I have moved my queen over here. I'll go ahead and inject on this hatch with him, and then keep him over here for this ramp block. So here I see he's going to start moving in with the ling bane force right here. And what do I have? I have my 2 queens already out. I have a spine crawler right here. I'm going to grab my drones, move them back up into my main, and at this point I'm just continuing to ling up. I just need to be careful not to lose all of my lings at this point, but he can't really get in and do a crazy amount. He's going to have to be careful there. And there he does get some nice hits off, but as you can see with the 2 queens and the spine crawler, just make sure you have that ramp blocked off like I do. And it is so difficult for a Zerg player to really do anything. So he's continuing to lose panes. That bane right there into the hatch was a bit of a mistake, but he really didn't have too much. In the meantime, I'm continuing to make lings right here behind. I'm starting to pick away at his banelings right here. I do believe they will get some nice shots though, because I kind of missed them. So it looks like decent. not the best, could have been better. So I actually started morphing some Banes of my own because I do have that baneling nest up, of course. And so now that's basically going to be it for him. He knows he's behind on a hatch. He's behind in workers as well. I've got the same tech that he does. I've got my 2 queens already out. And so he's just really not in a good position, and he's going to go ahead and GG out of the game. But something I do want to really quickly go back to and note is the gas and my banelings. So let's see. We'll go to right here. And we'll speed it up. Okay, so I'm going to be taking my gas here at 15, like I said, and then I put 3 guys instantly on the gas. And then how I take guys off of my gas depends on what I scout. So here I scout that he doesn't have a hatch already. So this right here warns me that he could be going for something in base, right? And so I'm only going to remove 1 guy from my gas, and I'm going to leave 2 on so I can then opt to get that faster baneling nest. Some people just leave all 3 on. Some people like to go down to 1, but if you go down to 1 guy, then you will not have enough to get the baneling nest out. So it's very important that you get that baneling nest around that 50 gas right there. In my opinion, it just makes it a lot safer. I mean, you can hold this without banelings, just having the spines and the queens, and then, you know, much later banelings. I've seen that, but it's a lot easier if you just get banelings of your own out. So as you can see, I mean, like at 70 gas, I went ahead and grabbed it. So it was a few seconds later than normal, but I mean, that's because I grabbed the spine crawler and I was just grabbing some lings and stuff. I'd also like to note I only have 15 drones right now, but I will be making a couple more. I do kind of intersperse some drones in between all the lings that I'm making here, and I do cut right here for this hatch, or for the queen, excuse me, because that second queen is very crucial to this, so they can't just run all their banes right up into your main base. So really just leaves them with this hatch, the spine, and then having to deal with 2 queens constantly picking away at them. So that's really all I wanted to kind of touch up on there, and then as soon as you get your baneling nest, you can actually morph some banes. You could grab a couple lings, move them back here, and morph some banes up at the top of your ramp behind, so then you can move them down later if you want. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. I didn't feel like I was in a terrible position because I had my queens out, my spine up, and my drones all pulled back, so I felt like I was completely fine. But if you do feel like you lose a lot of lings or you just feel a little bit unsafer, you can just have these dudes right up here morphing into banes as soon as that pops. You can make 4 banes right there, and then be in a great position to hold it off. So that's going to be it. My name's Mr. Llama. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys in my next video.